Hello and welcome to the second episode of Narrowboat Lane. I'm Col. Today I'm going to be talking about sitting down. Bit of a weird subject and you're probably thinking, what the hell's he talking about? The thing is, being on a narrowboat, as anyone with one will know, is that everything on a boat is a trade-off. Everything. If you want nice plush comfy armchairs, you're sacrificing space. If you want space, you're sacrificing comfort because you're going to go for a small particular sofa, little two-seater, something like that, that you're not going to be able to lounge on or properly relax on. Okay, for sitting on, that's about it. If you want a couple of soft reclining captain's chairs, yep, great, comfortable, space efficient. But if you have visitors, they're going to be standing up because you're only going to be able to get two on board unless you're lucky and have a massive 70-foot long boat, which we don't. Ours is a 50-footer. We moved aboard in October last year, as I told you in the last episode. Since then, we've had a three-seater sofa click-clack bed thing that didn't really work for us. We've had two captain chairs, which were great. But when you've got a dog, especially one like ours that likes to jump on your lap, and lack of seating space for visitors, you quickly realise that they're not the best. So from there, we moved to a two-seater settee, which was small. It was fine. It wasn't brilliantly manufactured. It was like MDF sections, pretty much like, I suppose, like a Nabru sofa. If you haven't looked at them, they might be worth a look at for you. With the dog jumping on and off, MDF screws don't really mix. It fell to bits within us about 2 months of us having it. Okay, we only bought it second hand, but still. I've always wanted a dinette. Always have. It was one of the big things I love about the idea about living on a narrowboat, was to sit round the table, having our dinner, looking out the window, watching the world go by, all that sort of thing. Henry. We can't fit one on our boat. Well, I didn't think we could, because ours is a 50-footer and we've only got about a 10-foot saloon, which isn't big by any stretch of the imagination. What we were lucky enough to do is find a lady who was selling her dinette, well, I say dinette, sofa bed, on Facebook. So I went along and grabbed that. Let me just show you how that looks. Hang on a sec. Let me spin you around if I can. Yeah, so this is it. This is the sofa bed. The cushion covers we're not sure about. They may well be getting changed. When we bought it and we got it back, we knew the dimensions before we went and got it. And originally that was another 15mm this way, which gave us very little wriggle room to get through. So what I'd done was I chopped a 15mm section out of the framework, which allowed me to slide it back this way. I then had to cut the foam cushions, and for now I've just folded the ends round, but like I say, we'll be sorting that in a more professional way. This pulls out and extends. Trust me on that, it's really difficult to do one-handed. And then these cushions all fold flat onto it to make a bed. Groovy. The next thing I'm going to be doing is, once I've changed the flooring, is I'm going to be getting a couple of those cups that hold the legs, and then we can have a table which will store away in the end there. So we've got a big sofa for visitors, a sofa bed for overnight guests, space and availability for a table to have a dinette. So I think we're about there. I don't think we're going to be having many more changes in the seating department, which is ace. What I'd ideally love to do is make everything a little bit more comfortable, because these seats are quite hard to sit on, because you bolt upright for one, unless you're lying down like me or the dog. Yeah, so that for us is about the best compromise that we could find, that ticks every box a little bit. I'd love to know how you guys have solved the problem. Well, it may not be a problem for you, but solved your seating arrangements, because trial and error is fine, but we've spent stupid money and wasted a hell of a lot of time to get where we are. So it'd be interesting to see whether or not you've just lived with whatever came on the boat when you bought it, what you've changed, how you've changed it. Good news for us is I've managed to find somewhere that we can get the blacking done, that we can live on board with Henry. So that's going to be happening in a few weeks' time, which I'm really looking forward to, because I'm desperate to get my boat blacked. Then coming up, we're going to repaint it outside. It's currently like a tatty royal blue and cream, which we weren't really keen on. So that's getting changed. Where are we after that? I've still got to do the kitchen wall tile removal, new timber up on the wall, new base unit and worktop. But then after all that, well, I'll say all that, that's a very small list compared to what we had when we first moved on board. Once that's done, then I think we can finally get to a point where we can relax a little, and stop trying to add jobs to the list, because I'm mad at doing that. The only thing then I want to do really, as August ends and September starts, is to get the hearth and the multi-stool stove in, because last winter we managed to get through without one, and it involved spending a hell of a lot of money on electric and gas, and I don't want to do that this year. Yeah, so that's the next job. But building a hearth, getting all the bits, the flue, the chimney, the collar, fitting it, not looking forward to it. But tips and advice would be gratefully received. Yeah, so stay tuned. What I will want to do at some point is, I've noticed on a lot of forums that people are having a lot of worries about their first BSc that they've had since they've moved on board, that it's coming up, that it's due, they don't know what to look out for, they don't know what to change. So although the full list of specifications for a BSc are easily available online, I really recommend that you go and download and have a check on that and read through it and see what's applicable to your boat and your circumstances. The next video, I think what I'll do is I'll just take you through what we thought we were okay and not okay on, what turned out to be the actual case, and what we had to do to remedy any problems to get us through our BSc. It was a nightmare for us, and if it weren't for a couple of people helping me out, I wouldn't have had a clue. So, you know, you might be able to get some handy tips and pointers from us. And maybe allay a few worries you might have, because it's not as bad as it sounds. It was at the time, but looking back now, with a little bit more experience, it was okay. So right, so that's it for now. I'm rambling on a little bit. So yeah, keep tuned. Give us a thumbs up. I know it's not brilliant, but I promise to get better. And my new laptop and camera's coming, so we'll be all good. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in again, guys.